Hey guys, Jonah here, back with another beer review, and it's Sunday evening. I have been absent for the last couple of days because I've been out drinking beer. The sun is out, the blooming Aurora Borealis is out. It's absolutely nuts. And I live right in the south, right on the east coast. So you can't get much more southeast than where I am. Otherwise, you'd be in the sea, or you'd be in France or somewhere completely bonkers. Uh, yeah. So what is going on? Anyway, uh, been out with some of the camera guys. Went to the local, had an 8.5% stout in a cask. I mean, life is good. Went out for a meal today, which was quite nice. Had the Sagres, the Portuguese beer, and now I'm back home, chilling out, all of that kind of stuff. And I found I've got quite a few beers in the fridge, and I need to get through them because there's been a few deals on in the supermarkets and stuff. Well, I say deals; they're doing like 4 for 3, which is a common deal these days. Anyway, one of the ones I found, supermarket beer style, was Tiny Rebel Froozzi. I've not had this one before. 6.5% fruit smoothie IPA on a daily. Label out. You know it's Tiny Rebel because it's got that weird hoodie bear. And it says we're on a mission to bring you good times with a hint of beer. We can do this by creating brands that will capture your imagination and, defy your senses. When we're not making awesome beer, we're busy making up plans to better people, our planet, etc. Blah blah blah. All the normal shit that people say, which is basically bollocks. But never mind. So what have we got in there? I'm quite interested. So we got barley, we've got wheat, we've got oats, we've got peach, we've got raspberry, we've got some lactose in there. My God, this is oh, cereals containing gluten and stuff. Wow, interesting. If you are interested, you can click on that QR nonsense and look up here. It's only vegetarian because it's got lactose in, which is a milk sugar. It can't be vegan. But if you're in Wales, you definitely need to avoid the pregnant ladies. I actually quite even like the can. Look at that. Froozzi. Kind of bizarre. Not 100% sure if I'm going to like this or not, but hey, when you get something on special offer and it's 6.5%, why the hell not? That's what I say. And at the very least, you're going to get a very large can for reasonably cheap. I believe this was sort of under probably £2.75 roughly off the top of my head. I do not know. So strong beer, 6.5%. Actually, wow, that looks more like a cider. That's kind of crazy. But you're getting it cheap, strong alcohol, just the way you like it when you're in Wales. Do you know what I mean? Right, let's get this bad boy because that head is going to disappear. There we go, something like that. Put that up here. Wow, I'm getting wafts of craziness. So I'm getting berry. I am getting the apricot as well. Really, really fruity, like a fruit cider. And there's a hint of sweetness to it, obviously. But I'm getting a kind of like a chemically type thing on the aroma. Hey, but we'll see. Anyway, if this is your first time visiting Unclejona, where have you been? I'm sure you've seen some of my videos before. If you haven't, welcome to the channel. Please consider subscribing. Click like at least to the video if you do so, of course. And if you don't, thanks for watching so far in. why not leave me a message in the comments down below? Really does cheer me up at the very least when I get a message. Look, we have gone head, fingernails head. However, got wheaten oats, so perhaps some of this head will be retained, and maybe we'll get some nice things to view in Foam Watch. Cheers and beers. Hopefully you had a good weekend. It's been lovely here. Hasn't started raining yet, but apparently rain is on the way. Ah, I live in the UK. Rain happens. At least in the summertime, it's warm rain and not freezing cold sleet and snow and all that kind of jazz. Cheers and beers, guys. Wow. Oh, Jesus. A really obscenely sweet, like overly sweet. Creaminess there too. And I suspect some of that sweetness is coming from the lactose, but some of it is definitely coming from the barley itself. Um, wow, all the flavors are there. Bit tangy. When I say tangy, I mean twangy. Get your twangers out, everyone. Um, I mean that homebrew twang. It's kind of in there, but I'm sure this is from the additions. Kind of got that. Yeah, it's like a metallic kind of thing going on. Um, it is quite clean. Um, it's not. Yeah, it's not off flavors. I'm sure they put things in here to kill off the yeasties and stuff to stop this stuff from fermenting even more. But then lactose is non-fermentable sugar, so you can put that in and not have to worry about it fermenting and turning to alcohol, which would be good. But it strips some of the flavour, so it dries it out a lot. Um, yeah, this is weird though. I'm not. I mean, I've had a few fruit beers in my time, and some of them you could argue board. I mean, they've got barley in, so they are beer. But some of them don't taste like beer at all. Um, Froozi is the other one, which is the strawberry beer, which is made in is it France or is it Belgium? One of those two. A Francophile, a Franco land, people that speak French. So yeah, really nice beer actually, but it's so creamy and kind of weird. It doesn't actually taste like beer. And this is very similar. You can't taste any hops in here. I'm not even sure it's got hops in it. Um, but the barley kind of thing. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, it's weird because there's so much sugar and stuff coming from the fruit. The barleyness is kind of gone. And there isn't even, I wouldn't say there's even barley sugar taste, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, let's see what we get on the second sip, the second gulp. Oh, it's interesting. There are kind of characteristics of beer. Some beers, especially some juicy beers, some hoppy beers, but I don't get the bitterness from it. Um, who knows? I mean, it's nice drink. It's quite strong. It's got alcohol in it. A little bit too sweet for my liking. Um, but because it's things like lactose, I'm not too worried about the sugars really doing me a mischief. Because obviously, if you didn't know, I have the diabetes, so these kind of obsessively sweet things could get me in trouble. But that is that is quite nice, I have to say. Uh, But yeah, a bit too sweet. Just weird. It's just a very odd thing. But then Tiny Rebel are quite odd. Um, Fruit Smoothie IPA. Personally, I would not call this an IPA. It is kind of IPA alcohol, 6.5, but it just doesn't have the bitterness. And I would say IPA, even British old school IPAs like Green King, etc., have the bitterness there, the hop bitterness. The hops, after all, or the hop oils made an IPA what it is. It survived the journey back in the day for weeks at a time, nay, months at a time, on a ship going to India. That is why it's called an India Pale Ale. Um, I know IPA has become bastardized in a way, um, and for some people think America came up with the IPA, and it's like no, Americans and Indians, yeah, they don't quite have a good relationship together. It got them in trouble, both sides. But hey, we didn't do much better. Um, yeah, but beer wise, I'm not convinced this is an IPA. Where are the hops? That's what I'd say. The fruits are there, but the hops sadly lacking. Oh, wow. That last sip had lots of kind of, it almost tastes kind of like artificially, chemically, metallic-y kind of thing. Metallic-y. Anyhow, some, for the amount of foam, look at that. It's like a cave painting in hops with animals running each other and kind of Neanderthal man or early humans painting animals onto a cave wall. Makes you glad to be human, eh? Anyway, hopefully you found this entertaining. If you like sweet beers, if you like the fruity kind of beers, and I'm not talking about creeks and sour beers, I'm talking about sweet fruity beers, you will love this one. It's definitely the fruit smoothie. I don't know if it's an IPA, but then you could argue everything is an IPA these days, because IPA means beer and beer means IPA. Well, not to me anyway. I don't agree with that statement. This has been your loving Uncle Jonna, waxing lyrical, talking old toot, old nonsense. It's an old charter or something. But I'll be back with another beer review real soon.